Hello everyone, this is the PC Security channel, and in the last few videos, if you've noticed, we've seen a lot of antivirus products that are not bad per se, but don't come with any additional firewall or zero-day capabilities. And in 2015, just antivirus with signatures and web blocking isn't enough. You probably know that by now. So what I'm going to do in this video is take a look at a firewall product which could complement an antivirus solution. Now, today we'll be taking a look at Zone Alarm, but if you're interested in seeing more videos like this, or if you want a complete firewall comparison, be sure to like this video and let your thoughts be known in the comments below. So today's test is going to be of Zone Alarm Free Firewall, as you probably know from the title already, and as you can see, they haven't changed much in terms of the user interface. They still have the old school UI where you have these tabs, and it's an okay user interface. I won't say it's too great, but it gets the job done. I don't see too many issues with it, but it is a little bit confusing. So let's go through it. We've got the firewall that is, it says it's the basic firewall, and then we've got application control, which is similar to what Kaspersky does. And since Zone Alarm do get a lot of their tech from Kaspersky, I wouldn't be surprised if this is using the same backend as Kaspersky's application control. But let's see how well it is implemented in this product. So as you can see, they've got some advanced control, enable Microsoft catalog utilization. I don't know what the hell that means. Okay, so as you can see, they've got the OS firewall, and then we've got some, program settings. And here, this is kind of like an intrusion prevention system, or a HIPS. So what you can do is you can select a particular setting for each of these actions. So if something tries to change the Internet Explorer homepage, you can either allow, deny, or ask. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave all these settings to default. Change the host file, change startup programs. It's got all these settings, but at first we're going to do a test with the product entirely in default mode. And then I'm going to simulate how an advanced user is probably going to use this product, and we'll see how that changes the results, if it does at all. So right now I'm not going to make any changes. I'll go through everything with default settings, and let's see what this program can do. So in this folder we've got 20 malware samples. These are fairly fresh. I grabbed them like a couple of days ago, which is pretty good since this is a firewall test. We're not really taking signatures into account here, so the age of the malware shouldn't really matter. I just hope they're all working and alive. So let's get started. Okay, first one gives us some kind of a system error. I don't know if it did its job and then gave the error or before. Let's try the second one. We've got plenty of samples, so we should be able to see some successful malware execution. As you can see, we have already got a process here. I don't see any alerts from Zone Alarm's firewall. Okay, finally. A malicious program and was prevented from running on your computer. Okay, so it blocked this file, which was created by this file. So the file started, executed, and then created or dropped the payload, which was blocked by Zone Alarm, so that's good. However, that's the only file I see it is blocked. We're seeing all sorts of things happening, and ouch, this is definitely not good. We've got a fake AV running on the system, and it has taken over. It automatically closed something, and I think it is going to prevent me from loading some other programs. No, it actually allows me to load Zone Alarm, so I can continue with the test. So all is not lost. And we're seeing all sorts of errors. I don't think it'll let me execute anything new because all of these are claimed to be malicious by the fake AV. So it's not going to let me load any of these programs. Well, the funny thing is, in this case, it is actually preventing us from loading malware because these are all malware. So good job. This is doing a better job of protecting the system than Zone Alarm did, to be honest. because it's not letting me run any more malware at least. So as you can see, default settings, plain firewall against malware, zone alarm, it is not going to be able to do much if you're, just loading files the way I did. Definitely not a complete solution. It may catch the, one file like it did over there, but otherwise it's a disaster. I wouldn't rely on this to back up my antivirus. I mean, it seems less likely to catch zero-day threats than signatures. So, well, not very happy with the way it performed in default settings, but we're going to restore the system. Actually, I'm going to see if I can run any scans on the system. If I can, I'll let you know. Otherwise, we'll go back to the default system and we'll make some modifications and see if that can improve this result. No regular removal tool can be loaded on the system. However, Hitman Pro with Force Breach actually managed to break through. So let's see what it can find on this crippled system. Hitman Pro, of course, detects these files that we have on our desktop, no surprise, but it's also managed to find the culprit here, tdefender.exe. And that's really what is supposedly protecting our system right now. Because Zone Alarm didn't do its job, so it said, well, you're not doing your job, so I gotta take over. And take over it has done. Alright, so now we're back to the point where no damage was done. It's a nice and peaceful system with Zone Alarm running happily and our malware sitting passively. So let's get started with some customization. So first thing I'm going to do is I'll take a look at the firewall settings. As you can see, the security for public zones is set to high and trusted zones is set to medium. I'd leave it this way, to be honest. Let's see what advanced settings they have. I don't really think about changing much here apart from locking the host file. And well, that's that. I don't see a lot more potential settings here that would really change any results for us. Now, application control should be more interesting, so let's see what it has over here. Defense net is set to automatic. Now I'm going to set it to manual, and well, I guess that means we'll get more alerts, and that might help. So that less of malicious actions are allowed. Now, network firewall screens some programs. So I'm going to set this to max. That's the most secure option, but we will be getting more alerts, of course. While the programs are executing, if I do get a chance, I'm going to go in here and make some changes too. And here we're going to, ask for all of these modifications. So it's going to act more like a HIPS application. This time we're going to start from last to first. Don't worry, the test includes running all of these files, so it doesn't really matter. We didn't run all of these in the last test because we didn't have to. We reached kind of a total fail state much earlier. But this time I'm going to try from the end first because I suspect the fake AV may again be let loose, and that's going to just shorten the test and not tell us a lot. So we're going to go from last to first and see what luck we have this time. Okay, first question. This is trying to access the internet. Smart Defense Advisor recommendation is not available. Okay, so well, I'm going to deny that, since I'm not really aware of what program question mark doesn't look like a legit file name. And that's what a smart user would do. Let's try number 19. No alert for it so far. Number 18, okay, no alerts. I'm not receiving any more alerts so far. Okay, this one seemed to fail. Here we go, finally. is going to run each time you start your computer. Suspicious behavior, I'm going to do deny here. So we blocked that thing from creating its startup program. Once again, this is trying to access the internet. I'm going to deny that. And this thing failed, and well, that's good. At least one piece of malware was rendered harmless thanks to the zero-day capabilities of this program. Once again, suspicious behavior. Now this is interesting. 7-zip standalone console is trying to communicate with explorer.exe by opening its process. So now this is something that is not a very clear indicator of anything. But I'm going to go ahead and deny this, because this is simulating the maximum protection that you can get. Okay, something was able to successfully open our browser. So this time we still have a functioning system after going through a lot of these files. But does that mean we're clean? I don't think so. The system definitely feels a bit slower, and as you can see, here's the reason why. CPU is maxed out, the malware is just taking a toll on the CPU. Something else is starting. I'm going to deny all of these and see what it can do for me. At least they have the remember setting so you don't get just bombarded with alerts like crazy. So what I'm going to do now is let the system run for a while, and we'll reboot the system, and then I'm going to do the usual second opinion scans, and well, that should tell us how well this application works with a lot of user intervention. Well, I just rebooted the system, and Zone Alarm produces the same suspicious behavior alert when I try to start Hitman Pro. They don't seem to have any kind of a whitelist. So, you know, you have the option of having no HIPS protection and just letting everything run and having fake AVs installed, or you have to deal with this alert every time you start a new program. So, well, you've got to make that choice, and it's giving the same alert again and again for Hitman Pro, which is really annoying. The Hitman Pro scan is now done. It's just uploading the Zone Alarm file over here, and as you can see, the malware is still there, but some file has made that folder hidden. And well, not much, but we do have some additional stuff in app data, local temp, and we still have the tdefender file, but thanks to our deny actions, it is no longer executing or starting up automatically. So the system is more or less safe, although we do have a lot of passive malware sitting here and there and scattered everywhere. We also have some new files that were created, but none of them were actually able to do any damage. So this program really hasn't changed a lot since I last looked at it. So this is the conclusion. In the highest security mode, you get some sort of protection. It does work as a HIPS kind of program, but at the same time, it's too annoying even for an advanced user to be able to use, and there's really nothing in between. And at default mode, it is not really good enough to even justify taking up RAM and hard drive space on your computer. So this is not a program I would recommend to back up your antivirus. We'll look at some other programs, and hopefully we'll find better programs that will perform in a more appropriate way. This program, it just doesn't do it for me because it's either too intrusive to the user and it's kind of unusable, or it is kind of useless. Neither of those is really what we want. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I decided to do this test because we do have a need for some firewall tests to find out some good combinations, because I've been recommending combinations a lot, and I keep testing these new antivirus products, which actually do pretty well for the signature part, but I never really test the other side of things, the firewall, that frequently to help you guys decide which type of combinations would actually help. So I'm planning on doing maybe a kind of a comparison for firewall programs. Let me know if you like the idea. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, as I said. And as always, thank you for watching. Like this video if you did. That does matter, because I will be taking that into account while deciding what type of videos to make coming up. This is Leo from the PC Security channel. And as always, stay informed, stay secure.